Hi, YouTube. I hope you're all doing great. I'm doing okay. We got, well, in some places it was like 3 foot of snow. I didn't do my indoor exercises today, but I went for a walk down our driveway, which is an eighth of a mile one way. And the average snow, well, not the average, was about 3 feet because of the drifts, but 18 inches was the least of it in spots, just a couple of spots. So most of it was like 2 and 3 feet till I got out to our road. And then when I got back in and I went out to feed the kitties and did a bunch of other stuff and got wood in, and so I got my exercises in today. And right after I had done that, I told Doug, instead of working on the tractor and the Jeep now, that one we traded for, that's no longer in service, not until he works on it. So just um, use his charge card for a plow. And the guy was so busy, he said he'd see if he could get us on his list. And he just did it. He just made some passes around. It's a horseshoe shaped driveway, and then took off. And I'm sure he'll probably like send us a bill or whatever, but probably to get home for supper time, or because it's a quarter to 7 here. So, and that's what my video is about, is time. I'm listening to Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist, and his guest today on his show is Dr. Sachin Panda. And they're talking about intermediate fasting and to improve health and cognition and longevity. And it's excellent. I'm halfway through it. It's 240 minutes and 6 seconds long, worth a listen. Even the first part, but they covered something that I was concerned about, and that's this daylight saving time thing, and how hard it is on people's hearts when you have to change. Okay, that's one of my thing you've heard me say. I eat once a day. I started doing that because I was around narcissists. It's one thing they couldn't take away from me, was my schedule. If I waited till the end of the day, no matter what they tried to pull, I was still in control of that very one thing. And that's what I do. I eat at night. I fast the rest of the day, a whole day. And then when you have protein, that's when your protein goes into your body at night. That's and I started working that out because I used to try and like get up and have a breakfast before anybody disturbed me, because I thought I would have energy. But sometimes you get tired after you eat, so that wasn't always the best idea with me when I was in a battle. I would want to be fit for that battle, and that's how I started doing that. So I was concerned, and these men today, these scientists, doctors, scientists, um, research scientists, um, know that it's hard on your heart to change your schedule like that. So why is our government doing this? When it started out, and I remember hearing this, and then I heard it again yesterday, in Germany during World War I, to save fuel, and we adopted it in our country. I think they said 1975 or maybe 65. I think, I'm not sure, somewhere around in there. But so do you see what I mean? So we're actually patterned our society after our um former enemies. that have infiltrated us in Kabbalion form with certain religions that we dare not utter and the rest of their bullshit, you know. So I thought I'd bring that to everybody's attention today, and then it just so happened, or maybe didn't just so happen, because a lot of people are on the same wavelength as far as trying to really get this world together. The same I had listened to earlier today. Dr. Jordan Peterson was talking about, let me see, they called it, okay, well, there's a group and it has an acronym for it, and I can't remember it right now, that they're forming of citizens around the world in, hopefully in some kind of statue in their community where they can make a difference. There's 2,000 people like um, Dr. Jordan Peterson that stands up for the people with God in his heart. These type of people getting together and trying to make good things happen around the world instead of the people that want to be controllers of everybody. So there's good people networking out here like that. So, and these guys are two more of them. So that's a good thing. So, anyway, I'm going to light a cigarette and just shoot the breeze with you. And I hope my camera doesn't shut off. I don't think it will. I deep cleaned everything, but just in case, you know. Oh, come on now. So, yeah, my grilled cheeses were good last night. I made cocoa and sliced dill pickles and grilled cheeses on my homemade bread and low sodium, low fat cheese. So it wasn't really horrible, not too bad. So I'm having steak tonight, probably salad with it, I think. So yeah, snow's a trip. You can't see out, but someday I'll do just a shot out the window before it melts. But yeah, we got nailed. They say like for March, if it comes in like a lion, it'll go out like a lamb, or if it comes in like a lamb, it will go out like a lion in Minnesota here. And that really, so I'll let you know if it goes out like a lamb because it came in like a lion. So yeah, I guess tomorrow is National Pie Day. I'm not a great pie lover. Ah, they're okay. Let's see, what's my favorite dessert? Well, it has to be two things together to be my very favorite dessert, and that's German chocolate cake and Rocky Road ice cream together. That's my very favorite dessert. If I just had to pick one thing, it would be a strawberry cheesecake. The whole thing. No, I'm just kidding. There's no way you could eat. I don't think a person, I mean, they're usually 9 inches around and they weigh like 2.5 pounds. So I don't think a person could really probably, with strawberries on it and the real stuff. Yeah. One time, my stepdaughter and I, Christine, we made cheesecake, and we made so much cheesecake. We had so much of it and fresh strawberries, and we made a glaze, and oh, that it was so good. We all got really sick of it too, and we ate too much of it. And she's just tiny, but she can eat a lot because she's active, you know. And usually, if you keep active, you can burn a lot of calories, you know. But I don't know. Typically, men burn more calories than women do because they're typically bigger and you know, they, I won't say work harder because for our bodies, we do what we do with ours, you know. So I guess the efficiency of what we burn. I wonder in ratio. Here's a thought. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that men have a tendency to burn more fat cells than women. But I think there's exceptions, like your sugar intake along with that fat. So if you were to just eat like animal fat on a steak or the skin of your chicken or whatever, and you just had that with like a whole food, like a vegetable or something, like green beans or whatever, if you had, or, you know, with that, you'd burn it off. But if you had sugar with that or more carbohydrates, which wouldn't be a complex carb like a vegetable, it would be like a starch, like a piece of bread or potato or some or rice or something like that, would turn into sugar more quickly, and then you wouldn't burn it as efficiently. So I was wondering, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that men burn fat cells more readily than women do typically, unless you know science really well and you know your body really well. That's why I won't listen to any scientists tell me about nutrition. No way. No way. Nobody. Nobody tells me how to eat. When my body says it wants something, I don't overindulge. And if I do overindulge, I'm doing it for a reason, because then when you whack your body out sometimes and then take care of it, it's like showing it some respect and it will love you back. You know what I mean? If you're conscious about it. Like I call it my pig out days. I have days where I just like totally watch my calorie intake, not really consciously, but I mean, I know I'm putting something really good in my body for like 2, 3 days, and then I can take a day and do whatever the hell I want. Those are my pig out days, you know. So, but once a day, not all day long. I eat when I'm hungry. I eat what I normally would if I ate a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. I would eat those meals. And that's just crazy because you don't need them. And I believe it is true that this intermediate fasting thing that I've done almost my entire adult life will help me not only live longer, but keeps me stronger and in better shape than most people I know, because I've always done things like that because I had to, you know, to keep my body healthy. So, yeah. So, anyway, I am going to share that video with you because I think it's important for people to understand that this daylight savings thing, or saving thing, is really hard on people, you know, and you know, to try and normalize it into something. I don't know. I guess it depends too. Do you want to get up and go to work or when it's dark out still? Because I remember even when I was younger, there's times like it was still dark out, and we were heading out the door to go to school, you know. I mean, the sun did come up by the time we got there, but I mean, in wintertime hours in Minnesota, in the northern hemisphere of the United States, that's what it's like. So, so anyway, but they said too, these scientists, I prefer to call them research scientists, doctors actually is what they are. But they said there's more car accidents, there's, heart attacks. Um, I would just put it quite frankly, why isn't our government caring about that when they seem to care about everything else? I mean, God forbid if it was a person of color or something, one person that was being um, treated like a lesser human being, let alone a whole demographic of people in between the working age of what, like 13, 14, 15 to what, 90 years old, like your Walmart greeters or whatever, you know? So that's a big smear of people across the board trying to get used to and keep their circadian rhythm in their body stable with your food, your digestion, your awareness, cognitive abilities. And what if you're running a chainsaw and you're like tired, or you're having heart palpitations with noises or fumes in a city? All these things could really play a part in what's going on. And any doctor or scientist or adult with a brain is going to realize that. So why doesn't our government care? Who's the head of the health? Isn't that Levine character that calls himself a woman? Why isn't he caring about the people that are going to work? With this daylight saving times change twice a year, your body has to do that. Like I say, I've learned how to do it in different ways because I recognize it as a tool of the dark cabal, and it most certainly is. Oh, yeah, it is. That's my concern for today. And I know, we do debate this every year just about. Sometimes I bring it up, sometimes I don't, but I do know it's hard on people. There's no doubt. Why don't they go just in between then and change the clocks a half hour? How about that? And then just leave it alone and see what happens. Let's go figure on that. Might be something there. Why does it have to be a full hour? Who said that? You know, it's like saying you're only a half a human being because you're a man, or you're only a half a human being because you're a woman. That's ridiculous, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's very illogical. I think you got my point there. I'll keep making it though in different ways for people that don't understand it yet. you know, just in case they don't quite get it. You And for real, God bless the people that are cause confusion from other people that are confused or intentionally doing things to confuse people. You know, how about the people that actually really do not dress as a female when they're at home? Like that teacher up in Canada with the prosthetic boobs. He only put them on when he went to school in a shop class. Even I braided my hair when I worked in the sawmill, you know. I think it was a really good idea, you know. And I wore overalls, coveralls, you know. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. But yeah, these people know what they're doing. That's a fact. I mean, I can see if somebody's young and their society has kind of battered them down in different ways, and they think it might be a easier road out if no, it's not easier. But that's what I think men are supposed to learn, that a woman's life is not easier, and a woman should have that respect in turn for her husband. It should be kind of a equal. That's how we're created equal, you know. But some people just don't get it. It's always got to be a gender war, and now the mixing of them. It's really, who ends up most vulnerable in that situation? I'm telling you, women are in danger from these monsters. They hate us. They hate women and children. It's as simple as that. There's actually groups online all over the place of transgender men. There's actually um, societies of these people that want to murder us, and they're not keeping it a secret. They're openly saying it. You know, it's not a joke, it's a real thing. And the men that have heard them say it and know these people like that are the ones that are standing up. Um, a few here and there, you know. Then I've heard too that there's been some transgender men that thought that their life might be easier as a woman, or they would get more attention or something, and it wasn't really quite what they thought. So, and then too, how are they dressing and what kind of attention do they want and who do they want it from? You know, and would natural family suffer because of a society with people that have that type of hatred in their hearts? Yeah, it's suffering already. I'm talking about issues that have happened in my life personally to people I know. And so I'm not talking about secondhand issues or something that I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, I'm talking about issues that I know very well, better than anybody I know, except for perhaps some of the people that are going through those things. But I'll tell you what, with their help, I've sure learned what it's like to study the brain of confusion.